God. Oh, welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I'm going to do a little video response here in this computer lab because this is actually related to a question posed by MaximumRD, who I follow a lot, and he actually about a week ago posed the question, or wanted to ask people about kind of your first experiences or early experiences with early computer systems. Because he's a very big into computer kind of guy, so I thought, okay, I've got one that goes way back. Now, I live in British Columbia here in Canada, and so does Rob, and he might appreciate the fact that my story involves the British Columbia Institute of Technology. I went there as a kid in the 70s, and they had an open house, kind of a thing, showing off computers, and my mom took me there, and I think it was kind of to inspire kids to learn about this newfangled thing out there called computers, see what your exposure's like. It's actually kind of related to a video game that I'm going to do a video about in another response another time, but for Rob's question, or sort of looking for an anecdote to do with old computer systems, I wanted to tell how probably the first time I saw a computer was at BCIT. It was such an old system that some people in the audience won't even remember or recall what these things are. But I was dealing with these things. And no, these are not train tickets that you get stamped by the conductor. These are computer punch cards. I actually encountered them at the BCIT show, where you could actually go up and you could see these things all on the desks and stuff. And what they were, little stacked cards. Now I think we each got one. And what they had us do is go down these little vertical columns of numbers, and we either, I think we drew a circle in them. No. Yes, we did. We drew a circle in them, and then a fellow would come by later and punch out those circles for us. And why? What were we doing? We were actually giving them, we would actually put, according to this little chart, this little code, we would get certain holes punched out by him, and he would put them into the computer in a collator, and it would actually show our name on a computer screen, which blew our minds. Like, oh my God, that's incredible. And it actually served me well a few years later. That kind of also influenced the school system, because we had always, up to the 70s or early 80s, you write your answers to your questions, or you maybe you've got a multiple choice question, in which case you write down, oh, it's letter A or B or C or whatever. But in the early 80s, that system switched to a very strange looking exam form that had rows and rows and columns of letters and things, and you would actually draw a very hard little circle in black, couldn't be in red ink or anything like that, in black, or a pencil, and your answers would then be handed in. And I thought to myself, what do you want to bet? They're going to put one of those things into something like that collator, and it's going to just automatically do all the marking. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So that was kind of one of my first computer experiences, and it was a very cool one. Not something that I think a lot of people of a certain youth level would understand in this modern era of smartphones and all that kind of stuff. I mean, these machines were probably no smarter than a Hallmark card you open up that plays a little song in it. Like, they were really rudimentary computers. But that was probably one of the first times I ever got a hands-on. I didn't actually type anything, but I punched, or I marked on this card where the holes are going to be. A little bit like Batman in the Batcave. That was a thing. It basically like that. I would hold this card. I hadn't seen Batman yet, but I would hold it and I would, make the notations in the little columns and graphs and stuff like that, and then they would put it into the machine and it would print out my name. It was a very cool experience. Anyway, I'll put a link below to Rob's video if you want to talk about your first computer experience. Could be kind of interesting. And until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.